Hey everyone, it's Sarah and I have my Monday and Tuesday of Week in the Life here for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this little kind of opening page. I have my title page there, and then I'm going to do this little opener as well, which is a picture of our entire family that we took last week. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking some scrap papers from my stash and I'm going to make kind of a little mini page, if you will. I'm just going to layer up a few of these patterns here and then put the picture on top. I'm going to use this card here that came in the Week in the Life kit, along with that little cork that says this week, and then that flare badge that says the fam. So I'm going to work on that here now. So I kind of have my papers where I want them to go, and I realized I wanted to back my picture with something as well. So I'm trying to decide between which color I want, and I end up going with the pink. I like the pink better. That's from a very old Amy Tangerine cut apart sheet. So yeah, need to use it up. So I'm going to use that to back my paper, or my picture, sorry. And then I'll start getting my layers all put down here. That picture is a 3x3, and I was already printing out some 3x3 pictures anyway for a layout I was going to do, so I went ahead and threw that one on there as well. I wanted it to be smaller since it's only a 6x8 little page here. So yeah, I'm just getting all these stuck down, and I'm going to use this card. Now this came in the Ali Edwards kit. I'm covering up the part that says this week though, because I want to use that cork. And that cork is one I've had for a while, so I wanted to make sure I went ahead and used it up here on my album. So I'm just going to layer that on top of the picture, so the full phrase will say the story of this week. So I'm going to get that down. And then I'm also going to use that flare badge that says the fam. I have no clue where I got that from. I think I got it from someone who sent me a package of things and had some flare in it as well. So I'm not sure the manufacturer on that one, but it's a nice yellow, so it's the exact colors that I'm using. And that's my fam. So I'm also going to use these blue sequins. Those are from crepe paper, and I have a small little bag of them, so I'm going to try to use some up here in this album. So I'm going to use some glue dots to put those down. I'm going to use 6 of them here on the spread. And then I'm going to work on my title page a little bit more because I realized I wanted to put Week in the Life on my actual title page, on the opening page. So I'm going to do that here real quick too. And I'm going to use part of the packaging here, so I'm just going to cut this this little packaging sticker off, trim off the plastic, and then I'm going to put it up towards the top and kind of have it hanging off the top, and then I'm going to use my tiny attacher and put a staple on the top of it and then kind of cut it down. And that's going to be a trend that I'm going to start using in my album as well throughout the week. I'm going to, on all my 6x8 really large pictures, I'm going to be doing that type of thing as well. Okay, so I got my my title page finalized here and my little opening page of my family. So that's all ready to go. So now I'm going to start working on Monday. So throughout the week, I'm keeping my album on my kitchen counter, and I'm kind of using Post-its to write down where I want to put things as I'm taking pictures and things like that. So that way when I sit down like this, I know exactly where I want everything to go. And it's really easy for me to print out pictures because I know what size I need and which ones I need. I'm also using those morning, afternoon, evening 3x8 journaling prompts there, and I'm kind of writing things down during the day as well for what we do. Okay, so the first thing that I'm documenting for Monday is that my girls started school. Kaylin started 2nd grade and Layla started preschool. So we took our pictures before we left the house, and I'm using these pink paisley letters. I have a 2 and a P there, and that's just from leftover in a package from one of my hip kits. So I kind of went through the letters to see if I had anything that I could use, and it was perfect. So I am going to use these Ali Edwards letter stickers here, and I'm going to use those along with them to spell out second grade and then preschool as well. And I really like these stickers. I wish there were more of them. So I think I've already used the D's. I think I already use, I use up all the R's here, and yeah, so that's okay. So I'm just going to, do this here, and then I will embellish them a little bit more and put them in. I'm trying to keep things pretty simple. I'm not trying to overdo anything in this album, because I find that if I try to do too much and try to make it, super crazy and, just full of everything, I get really unmotivated to do it, and it feels overwhelming to me. So I really like working with this kit because it kind of helps me keep it simple. I'm trying to stick to, I do pull a few things here and there from my stash, just a few little odds and ends that I can easily use up during the week. So that's helping me get through some of my stuff as well, but I'm not overdoing anything in here. Okay, so I want to put something else on these cards. I'm just not sure what. And I ended up going with these Amy Tangerine gray little word stickers. That one says "You Rule," and I put that on Kaylin's, and then I put "This Happened" on Layla's, and then I'm going to use 2 little pink arrows from the kit and point towards the pictures of the girls. And I'm going to just stick those cards in nice and simple, and they're in there. I'm also talking to my husband while I'm making this, sorry. He had just woken up. He had a late flight the night before, so he got to sleep in a little bit. So he had just woken up when I was sitting there talking to him. Putting some glue, some of the cardboard had started to lift a little bit on that arrow, so I just kind of reinforced it a little bit there. Okay, so that's done. I'm not doing a ton of journaling about school. It was a big deal for them to go back, but, I'll do more journaling about it later. Okay, so on the back here, I have a picture of Brody in the front seat of the car. I had to drop him off at the vet after I took my girls to school because he had some blood work he had to do that day. So I'm going to journal about that. I'm also going to use this weather card that to talk about the weather, because we woke up Monday morning and it was pouring rain, just completely pouring. And then by the afternoon, it was completely dry and the sun was out and it was super hot. So it was kind of 2 extremes for weather that day. So I'm going to do some journaling about that here. And then I put, for the degrees, I put like 70 and 90, and I was just guessing. I couldn't go back and look. So, but that was probably about the difference in the weather. So I'm just journaling about that here. And I'm going to use one of the perforated phrase stickers here along the bottom to cover up the part that says date, because I don't really need to put the date on it. And I don't remember exactly which one I use. I do know it rips. I tried tearing them off like you're supposed to with these, but the first 2 times I did it, they completely ripped apart. So I was like, okay. I ended up piecing them back together, but eventually I'm going to just start cutting them out instead of tearing them the way you're supposed to, like this. So it was pretty easy to tear, but when I get into like the little ones, trying to tear like a strip off like this rips on me. So yeah, it wasn't working all that great for me. It was just easier for me to cut them. Let's see if I can figure out what that says. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know what that says. I can't read it on my screen. It's one of the longer ones though. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm going to put that along the bottom here. And then for Brody, I have the little card from the kit that says status report. And I'm using this little ampersand, which is also from the Pink Paisley alphabets that I have pulled to try to use up somewhere, and I'm going to use it here. So I'm doing the @ there, and then I'm going to use a geotag from the kit as well, a little red geotag, and then I'll do my journaling about taking him to the vet to get blood work done that morning. And he did great. Brody he's doing really well, you guys. He's had a lot more energy lately, which is awesome. Almost too much though. I've had to kind of keep him from jumping off the couch because he's still, or he tries to jump on the couch. He can't jump up very well anymore. Jumping down, he's usually good, but jumping up, he's having a hard time and he doesn't make it. And then he falls. So he keeps trying to do it because he has more energy. And I'm like, stop it. You're going to hurt yourself. So he has almost too much energy right now, but that's good. So he had to go in for another round of blood work. So we're going to wait another week for the results on that. And hopefully everything is still going in the right direction, but he is doing really well. Okay, so for this last one, I'm not sure what I want to do. And I initially thought I was going to use that Monday card, and I'm not sure. And I'm like, I didn't know what I was going to journal about because I have another journaling spot I'm going to use for the day. So I ended up putting that aside. And instead, I'm going to do a little bit more embellishing about the weather, because sitting on my desk, I had I have a flare badge that you'll see here in a second. That I'm going to use to kind of highlight the weather again. And then I realized there's a little phrase here that says, "Here we go." And I wanted to use that for another one of my pictures, and see, right in half. So right in half of the phrase I was going to use. So I have to piece it back together. So I have this picture of my planner, my Erin Condren planner, and also my Erin Condren meal planner. So I had those sitting out on the counter, and I snapped a picture of them. So that's kind of our week at a glance there. So I'm using the phrase "here we go," and I put that on right directly on the picture. So I'm going to do that. And then I also have Kaylin lost a tooth the night before. On Sunday night, she lost a tooth. And so I took a picture of her the next morning, right when she woke up. She had her dollar from the Tooth Fairy and a little Tooth Fairy receipt. So I took a picture of her holding them up, and then I asked her if I could put the receipt in my scrapbook, and she said yes. So I have the receipt there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. I'm just using scrap paper for this as well. I'm just going to put that there. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do in that little last spot there. I'm thinking about it. And then I see the badge and I'm like, yes. Okay. So that'll help highlight the weather. So that is a square flare badge from Freckled Fawn. And I've had that for a very long time. I just haven't used it yet. And I like the colors in it. It goes really well with the kit. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to just do a little decorative card. And I'm going to end up using the blue paper that I used for my family picture page. And I'm just going to cut a little 3x4 piece out of it. And then I'm also using this wooden frame, which is also from Freckled Fawn. And I'm going to kind of just put that inside there. Like, I have to go do something. I don't know what I did though. Whatever it was, it didn't take long. Oh, my husband, his phone rang and it was sitting next to me, so I went and took it to him because it's his birthday on the 19th, and that's this morning as I'm doing this layout. So his dad was calling to say happy birthday to him and everything. More on that later. But so there, I just did a little embellishment card there. So now I'm going to work on these 2 4x6s back here, and Layla started her dance class that day. So I took a picture of her getting on her ballet shoes, getting ready for class. So I'm using these basic gray aqua letter stickers, and I'm going to spell out dance onto this gold label. These are both from my stash, and I'm going to try to use up those labels. I had a handful of them, so I'm going to try to use them up here in this album as well. Trying to get through some of my little things I have just kind of sitting around, just waiting to be used. So I got that down, and I'm going to attach it and then cut off the excess. So it's going to kind of right there. And that's going to complete that one. And then I'm going to do some journaling just about the day in general, because Monday was crazy busy. It was kind of, getting back to school schedules, and, just a lot of stuff happened. So I'm going to journal more about that. And I'm looking through my 6x6 paper pads here to see if I have something good that I can write on. I don't have a ton, so I have to actually go through my stash and pull out a few things that I can use for journaling spots here in this album. But I'm going to use this one here, and I cut it down to 4x6, and I'm using this little yellow label from the kit that says this and that, and then I'm going to do my journaling about the day. Just kind of, the girls went back to school. I went back to the gym. My husband was getting ready for a flight he had on Tuesday. Brody went to the vet, so just a lot happened. And I'm referencing my my 3x8 notes there as well, just to make sure I didn't forget anything. And then along the bottom, I'm going to add another little phrase here, and I think I'm going to use one that says all about today. Just trying to find it. As I start cutting into these things, I have to really like go through and read them and see what I want. So that one says all about today, and I'm gonna put it along the bottom here. And then I'm also going to add a couple of those teal sequins again along on both sides of the yellow label there. And I'm going to echo that throughout the album as well. I think every time I use one of those yellow things, I'm going to do sequins on either side of them like that. And that completes that. And then I have the 2x2 page protector there, but I haven't decided what I'm going to put in there yet, so I'm kind of leaving it empty for right now. I may just go back and add some little things here throughout the week, but as of right now, I don't have anything to put in there quite yet. So I have my 6x8 full-size picture here, and I'm putting the picture of both of my girls together, getting ready to go to school. I'm going to use this little phrase here that says off to school, and then on top of that little circle that says you amaze me, which is something that I got in a hip kit. I don't remember the manufacturer though. It might have been Evalicious. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while. But I'm going to go ahead and put that on the top, hang it over like I did in the beginning, cut it off, and then put a staple in it. And that's going to complete that. I really like having the 6x8 pictures in there. Just kind of one thing that really highlights the day. I love that. Okay, so moving on to Tuesday now. So I have another 6x8 to go on the back of there, and that is a picture of me on the treadmill at the gym. I started going back to the gym this week since I actually have time to go now by myself. So I just snapped a picture of my feet on the treadmill, and I'm using this little circle, which is from the same package as the other one. I'm just trying to use them all up. And then I used the little phrase that says gym flow on it, and I love that she included something about the gym. And I'm going to put that on top and trim it off and all that good jazz as well here. So that's going to be kind of my opening for Tuesday. And I have not filled in my morning, afternoon, evening for Tuesday yet, but I will soon. I got to do it probably today before I forget anything. Okay, so for this spread, I decided I'm going to focus on books because Tuesday was a big book day for me. I put in a book order at Book Outlet. I started listening to Outlander. I am currently reading Rook on my Kindle. I went to Goodwill and bought some books, and then I also sat down for a little while and I watched some BookTube videos. So I had all these pictures of books, so I decided to do a full page spread on that because that's kind of a big thing in my life right now is, reading and books, and it's something I've really been concentrating on this year. So I pulled a card that says what today looked like, and that's where I'm going to do my journaling about everything. It's going to be kind of bullet journaling about what I did as far as books go that day. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do to put on the pictures, and I decide that I'm going to use these little letter stickers from Basic Gray, and I'm going to use the gold labels again. and kind of label what I'm listening to and what I am reading as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. So I pulled those 2 labels, and yes, I'm just going to spell reading, which is Rook by Sharon Cameron, and it's really good. I'm almost halfway through. I think I'm 40-something% through right now. But again, I'm reading at night and falling asleep too soon, and I'm getting upset. So I have to start reading during the day so I don't fall asleep so quick. But it's really good though. I'm enjoying it. So I'm spelling out reading. And then on the other label, I will spell out listening, because I started listening to the first Outlander book by Diana Gabaldon. And yeah, so I started listening to that when I went to the gym, and that's been awesome so far. I'm about 4 chapters into it right now, but I listened at the gym, which helped my workout go pretty quickly, and then I listened in the car on the way home, and I also listened to it while I was cooking dinner, so it was nice. That is a very, 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 very long book, so listening to it is going to help me kind of get through it a little bit faster. But I am really enjoying it so far. So far, it's pretty close to the TV show. I've already watched the TV show, but yeah, so far it's almost exact, so that's awesome. Okay, so I'm putting those directly onto the pictures here. And the picture up in the corner, up on top there, that is a screenshot of my order that I put in at the book outlet. They had a really big end of summer sale, and I ordered 12 books. So I took a little screenshot of the confirmation, the list of the books that I bought. Luckily, they all fit on there. So that's what that picture is up there. So I'm using this card, and I'm going to put books underneath what today looks like. And I'm going to use these darker colored because I don't have enough of the lighter color that I wanted to use. So I'm just going to use this one, and I'm going to spell out books. And my memory card on my camera is about to run out, so I stop for a little bit and charge it up and, empty it and everything, and then I'll come back in a second. Yep, now I'm back. So what I did do is I did that. I'll show you that in a second, but I printed out these pictures. The one on top is of Goodwill, the books at Goodwill, and then the one on the bottom was my iPad, and I was watching Jesse the Reader on BookTube. If you watch BookTube, then you probably know who Jesse the Reader is. He's pretty big on there, but he's one of my favorites, so I was watching him that afternoon. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the other one that I didn't talk about in a second here, so I'll talk more about that in a second. But so here I put around here on this picture of my girls watching their iPads, because they do that quite a bit. So I just snapped a little picture of them laying around watching their iPads, and did the sequins on there. And so for this one, I have my 6x8. This is a picture of me watching Wayward Pines, drinking a mug of tea. That's pretty much what I did last night. And so I punched out a circle from some pattern paper, and I'm going to use the phrase watching and put that at the top, like everything else I had done so far. And let me talk about the beginning for a second. The one that has I have a picture of the song Californication, because it came on the radio, and I took a picture of it because that is the song that my husband and I had our first kiss to when we started dating, and then I heard it on the radio Monday morning, and I was so excited. So I journaled about that on the little card that says good morning to you, and I kind of just journaled about that a little bit, and then I put a phrase there. I'm not sure what it is, though, to be honest. I'm sorry. And then I have 2 more spots here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I am going to use this card from the kit, and I'm going to put a little red resin camera from Freckled Fawn on it and just have that be a decorative card. And then the other one is still blank. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. So I have a couple things I need to finish up for Tuesday. But I went ahead and stopped here because I had to go pick up Layla, and I haven't gone back to it yet. So as of right now, that's all I have right now. So once I sit down, the next time I'm ready to sit down, I will finish up Tuesday, and I will make sure I show you guys that. Okay, that's it for me for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back again with another update soon, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.